Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is Tuesday, and honestly, it is a beautiful day outside, but a totally dark and twisted day in the world of B&B. I have been staring at my screen for hours trying to process what just happened, and my coffee is completely cold, but we need to talk about this right now. And let me just start by saying that I am still shaking from what we just watched. So last week, we saw the massive fallout from the Logan fashion show, and we all knew Brooke was going to react badly. We knew it, but I don't think any of us were prepared for the sheer level of trauma that was about to unfold. Hope collapsing on the floor of the Logan gallery was one of the most intense things this show has done in a long time. Just seeing her hit the ground like that. A full-blown panic attack that just shut her body down completely. Liam finding her unconscious and frantically trying to wake her up was honestly terrifying to watch. You could hear the absolute raw panic in his voice. He was begging her to open her eyes, and when she didn't, he rushed her to the hospital. And the doctors didn't just say she was tired. They said she was in critical condition. Critical condition, you guys. Her body just couldn't take the psychological break of her own mother disowning her and kicking her out of her home. But that is not even the craziest part of the episode. Not even close. So Liam is pacing the hospital waiting room, right? He is literally losing his mind. He is terrified that he is going to lose his wife. The sterile smell of the hospital, the beeping machines, the sheer dread hanging in the air, and then we hear footsteps in the hallway. And who walks around the corner? Ridge Forrester. Now, for a split second, I actually thought maybe Ridge was there to support Liam. Maybe he was there to check on the girl who grew up in his house. The girl who called him dad for years. But no, oh no? Ridge did not come to the hospital with flowers or sympathy. He came with a briefcase. He came looking like a cold, calculated corporate shark ready to smell blood in the water. Ridge walks right past Liam and goes straight into Hope's hospital room. Hope is lying there in a hospital bed. She is pale. She is hooked up to monitors. She is barely hanging on after a massive physical and emotional collapse. And Ridge just stands there. He just stood there looking at her. No warmth in his eyes at all. And then he opens his mouth and says the most vile thing I think I have ever heard him say. He actually accuses Hope of faking her illness. He stands over a girl in a hospital bed and tells her that she is just using this medical crisis to drum up pity and manipulate everyone. What were they thinking? Who actually believes this is going to end well for Ridge? To look at a woman who just had a severe panic attack and tell her she is faking it for sympathy is so beyond cruel. It is actually disgusting. Honestly, I had to pause the screen and just walk away for a minute because I was so mad. Ridge has done a lot of arrogant things over the years, but this takes the cake. He thinks the entire universe revolves around Forrester Creations and his precious haute couture line. He actually believes that Hope collapsing is some sort of calculated PR stunt to make Brooke feel guilty and make the Forresters look bad. The ego on this man is just out of control. It really is. So then Ridge takes it a step further, because of course he does. He reaches into his jacket and pulls out legal papers. In an ICU room, he slaps these papers down and gives Hope a ruthless, cold-blooded ultimatum. He tells her that she needs to sign away her inheritance rights at Forrester Creations permanently. Every single share, every single claim she has to the company, gone, and not just that. He tells her she has to pack her bags and leave Los Angeles for good, just vanish. And what is the carrot he dangles in front of her? What is the big reward for giving up her birthright and her home? Ridge says that if she signs the papers and leaves town, he will personally talk Brooke down and convince her not to disown Hope permanently. Let's just unpack that for a second. Let's be real. Ridge is basically holding Hope's relationship with her mother hostage. He is using Brooke's fragile mental state and her explosive anger as a weapon to protect Eric's legacy and secure Steffy's future at the company. He knows Brooke is completely unhinged right now after the Logan fashion show. He knows Brooke kicked Hope out of the cabin. So he swoops in like a mafia boss and offers to fix Brooke if Hope surrenders. It is so manipulative. It is so toxic. And it just proves that Ridge views Brooke not as an equal partner, but as someone he can control and aim like a loaded gun at whoever he wants. And you know what the best part of this entire scene was? It wasn't Ridge's villain monologue. It was Hope's reaction. Because for a second, you expect Hope to cry. You expect the good, sweet, forgiving Hope Logan to burst into tears and beg Ridge to understand her side of the story. You expect her to hyperventilate again. But she doesn't. She just stares at him. The monitors are beeping in the background, and Hope just looks at him with pure, unadulterated disgust. This was the moment, you guys. This was the exact moment something inside Hope Logan Spencer permanently snapped. You could literally see the shift in her eyes. She looked at this man who she used to look up to. A man who sat at her family dinner table. A man she once considered a father figure. And she realized that he doesn't see her as family. He never really did. To Ridge, she is just a pawn. She is just a business liability that needs to be neutralized to protect Steffy and the Forrester brand. All those years of playing nice, all those years of trying to be the peacemaker, and this is what she gets. An eviction notice from her mom and a corporate blackmail attempt from her stepdad while she is literally fighting for her life in a hospital bed. Maybe I am being too harsh on Ridge. Okay, no, I am not being too harsh. That sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. Ridge crossed a line that can never be uncrossed, and Hope knew it. So Hope finds her voice. It is weak at first, but then it gets stronger. She doesn't cry. She just looks Ridge dead in the eye and tells him to get out. She kicks him out of her hospital room. And she doesn't just tell him to leave. She makes a vow, a terrifying, cold-blooded vow. Hope swears to Ridge that the second she walks out of this hospital, she is coming for him. She tells him that she is going to be the one to personally put an end to his reign at Forrester Creations. She is going to tear down his empire piece by piece. And honestly, I am here for it. I am so here for it. We have watched Hope take the high road for years. We have watched her get pushed around by Steffy, manipulated by Thomas, judged by Ridge, and now completely abandoned by Brooke. And for what? For trying to step out of the shadows and build something for herself at Logan. She finally made a selfish business move, and the entire Forrester family treated her like a criminal. Well, if they want to treat her like a villain, it looks like she is finally going to give them one. Think about what this means for the bigger picture of the show. We are looking at a full-scale corporate and family war. Hope isn't just going to design cute clothes at Logan anymore. She is going to use Hope by Logan as a weapon. She is going to leverage Bill Spencer's money, Katie's ruthless business strategies, and Deck's designs to absolutely crush Forrester Creations. And she is going to target Ridge specifically. Ridge just created his own worst nightmare. He thought he could bully a sick girl into signing away her rights, and instead, he woke up a sleeping giant. I keep thinking about how the fans on social media are going to react to this. The Forrester loyalists are probably going to say Hope deserves it for betraying Eric and ruining his haute couture show. But the Logan fans, oh, they are going to riot. They are already rioting because no matter what Hope did in the business world, you do not walk into an ICU and kick a woman while she is down. You just don't, and the fact that Ridge is using Brooke as a bargaining chip is going to blow up in his face so badly. What happens when Brooke finds out? Because Brooke might be mad at Hope, but Brooke is still a mother. If she finds out Ridge tried to force her daughter out of Los Angeles permanently while she was in critical condition, that marriage is over, done, finished. But then again, maybe Brooke won't care. Brooke has been acting so crazy lately, smashing monitors and kicking Hope out of her house. It is like the writers have completely destroyed the bond between Brooke and Hope just to fuel this fashion house rivalry. It feels a bit clunky in places, to be honest. Like, why is Brooke suddenly acting like Katie is the devil when they are sisters? Why is Brooke siding with the Forresters over her own flesh and blood? It is frustrating to watch, but it definitely makes for good TV. And what about Liam? Liam is standing right outside that door. He has to know what Ridge just did. Liam has been stepping up lately, trying to be Hope's protector. If Liam finds out Ridge brought legal papers to the hospital, I wouldn't be surprised if Liam throws a punch. Liam has all that Spencer money and influence behind him now. If Hope goes to war against Ridge, Liam and Bill are going to be standing right behind her with an army of lawyers and PR people ready to destroy Forrester creations. This storyline feels different from the usual B and B stuff. Usually, it is just a love triangle. Who is sleeping with who? Who is kissing who in the design office? But this is about legacy. It is about power. It is about a daughter finally realizing that the family she bent over backwards to please never actually respected her. Hope's psychological break isn't just about losing her mom. It is about losing the illusion of the Forrester-Logan blended family. It was always a lie. It was always conditional. As long as Hope stayed in her lane and let Steffy be the star, they tolerated her. The second she became a real threat, they tried to erase her. So yeah, Ridge's ultimatum was a massive miscalculation. He thought he was dealing with the old Hope, the one who would cry and apologize and sign whatever he put in front of her just to keep the peace. But that Hope died on the floor of the Logan Gallery. The Hope that woke up in that hospital bed is a completely different person. She looked at Ridge with pure disgust. She saw him for the arrogant, controlling narcissist he is. And she promised to end him. I don't even know how I am going to wait for tomorrow's episode. My brain is literally spinning with theories. Will Hope actually team up with Bill Spencer to stage a hostile takeover of Forrester? Will she use the hope for the future diamond to somehow bankrupt Ridge? Will she expose Ridge's blackmail attempt to the press and ruin his reputation? The possibilities are endless right now. I mean, just picture it. Hope walking out of that hospital, putting on a killer power suit, and marching straight into the Logan offices to declare war. No more tears, no more apologies. Just cold, hard revenge. I am so ready for this villain era. I really am. Anyway, I have been rambling for way too long, and I need to go microwave my coffee and try to calm down. But I want to know what you guys think. Did Ridge go too far? Is Hope justified in wanting to destroy him? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.